Hello everybody! Hello everybody, it's Geraldine Rose here again. Hope your day or evening is just going tickety-boo. We're here with another card for the Color Throwdown Challenge 762 in Mossy Green, Rust, Kraft, and Cream. And I am trying out my Nina Desert Storm cardstock 100-pound weight for the first time. So cut a couple of panels down, and now this is my new waffle grip mat in the 6.5, 8.5 size. I already had the smaller one as part of a giveaway. Thank you very much, Waffle Flower and Amy Rasavi, and liked it so much, was able to grab one from Simon Says Stamp during Stamptember. So I've masked that panel off, and I'm coming in with some oxide inks in brushed corduroy and gathered twigs, and I'm just going to kind of fill slightly inside of that mask that I've got, actually with true masking tape. Didn't have any painter's tape left, but you know what, this actually works pretty decently too. So I'm deepening the corners up there a little bit with our darker gathered twigs, trying to bring in those autumnal colors as the Color Throwdown actually pointed out already. And now I've placed just a generic, I think it was a birch trees stencil mat over top of that, and it did stick down to the Waffle Flower grip mat, but I had to mask off other areas so that my cardstock still actually wouldn't get the chance of having any ink on it. So I came in with another brown there, and I'm going to deepen up towards the bottom a little bit of those trees. I still had the orientation on them quite vertical compared to the fact that I had the mask slightly set at an angle. And there's our reveal. I did fuzz them out towards the top because I wanted it to kind of look like they were blowing off into the breeze. You'll see why later. We're going to put some other stuff over top. And peeling your masking or your painter's tape, if you peel it at an angle, you stand less chance of ripping your paper stock up. So this is the fun part. It's like, remember when we used to put glue on our hands and peel that back too? It's kind of like the same thing. All right, this is using the All in Create Lots of Hearts stencil, and I had to get a new picket fence paper glaze. The fern green that I had shipped out along with a couple others actually arrived lumpy, and one was flat out dried up, so got some from somewhere else. I did like it so much I wanted that green, and before it sets up, I am coming in with some Distress embossing glaze now. I believe I was using, oh, was it Barn Door? Yep. Oh, Fired Brick, and I'm coming in with some vintage photo as well on that. So you sprinkle it on, you let it dry, and then you come back in after and heat emboss it. And if you go in sooner, you can actually cause your paste or your glazes to kind of bubble up a little bit, which I find fun too. I like doing that. So I was setting it down to dry, and I got out my Sizzix dies. This was one of the fall foliage ones. Just pulled some of the maple leaves out of that. And of course, using some oxide sprays now, peeled paint, crushed olive, I believe the red. I used some abandoned coral and some walnut stain. And then I'm going to deepen them up by coming in with mica spray stains on top. And the green was a Wicked Elixir, and then mulled cider, burning ember, and then for the browns, the tarnished brass and the fallen acorn. And I am going to get them to mix all around on those leaves. I will do some smooshing with them too. And I picked up this little trick from Nicole Spohr where she just actually uses Tupperware. It's quite a bit easier to clean out than a spray box. So, bonus. Picked up some of the splatter just for the background of the card for underneath the panels. And you know me, I have to push it. I should have left well enough alone, but I wanted to bring some of the splatters in on the front because we're addicted to splattering. And so there we are. it's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Pushed it over, and I'm like, no, we can recover it. On the leaves, again, I put some of those embossing glazes that we had in certain spots that were still wet. This spray picked it up, and you're able to actually heat emboss it. And here, now that the paper glaze is dry, I am setting that embossing glaze across the top, and it comes up with an incredible texture, actually. And here I've got like a triple layer of panels. I went in decreasing size on the rectangle dies, setting those all into place. And yeah, that's how I brought the cream in on the elements, because Nina was kind of in between the Kraft and the cream. And so it was like, well, put one cream, one Kraft, and then Nina. And then the Kraft panel, I actually ended up running it through a straight up and down embossing folder, so that it had stripes. It came out looking like corrugated cardboard, actually, which was a really neat effect. Here's my inside sentiment. I can't remember what company this is from. I've had it forever. Anyways, it's just lovely. Give thanks. And so I started out with some Close to My Heart ink, and then brought the oxide ink in on top. And for the front panel, I was using Close to My Heart again with the Autumn Barn. On the inside, came back in with the Close to My Heart quotable quotes. And that one I did avocado first with the normal ink, and then came back with the Distress Oxide right over top. And it's cool because you can actually get it to model when you do mix the two inks like that. I like doing it. Alright, so now I'm placing my one focal big maple leaf on the inside, trimming off the edge there, the part that's sticking out. This one's really pretty when you look at it in real life, and tilt it back and forth and catch the shimmer and the texture and all the other stuff on top of it. Alright, so here we're starting to glue down our panels on the front, and of course I had to edit out a part because my hair is going gray. It's no longer strawberry blonde, and you would have seen my lovely gray hair that's there. Alright, anyway, continuing on, we're going to put our leaves on the front now. I was trying to counteract the diagonal by causing like an S curve there. Custom stamp on the back. I order some each year from Scrap and Stamp, so I've got 4 now. And I used the avocado and then a little bit of the moss, the oxide. What is that one? Forest moss. Kind of modeled them so it looked like it was the way that moss does when it's growing. And we're just tapping some embellishments down on the front. I use some half pearls in kind of a crafty, rusty kind of color for some more shimmer. And that pretty much finishes it up. So everybody, I hope you're doing great. Get some crafting in. Be that change you want to see out there in the world, and we'll catch you all next time. I've got some Halloween ones I've got to get up to. Okay? Thanks very much. Bye-bye.